Welcome out, gamers and gamettes, to this RGLgg Invite Highlander playoff cast, where we're bringing you the Season 15 Invite lower bracket finals between Fast Fourth and Blinky. I am Aldo, recently freed from Pyro Jail, joined by Vox Day by my side, Dolphin behind the camera, as always. Vox, how you doing tonight?
Yeah, I'm doing good. See, I was actually recently freed from actual jail. I don't want to get into the details, but I beat the case, and it's just I'm glad to
Something's
be
telling me Waterson's involved somehow.
out. Yeah. I didn't want to. My lawyer advised me not to mention names, but that's all I can say.
All right, good to hear. Glad that we're both free men finally.
Yeah.
I have not been, as I implied, I tricked a team, for anyone who was wondering why I haven't been on Castle this season. I finally, after a year's worth of trying, tricked a team into letting me play Jetpack Pyro down in Maine. And it was everything I wanted it to be. But I am back here for lower bracket finals, Vox by my side, and I have not been paying the most attention to Invite, but I do happen to notice that our lower bracket finals, so teams that have already confirmed placement, are between the 2 and the 4 seed, as last week had what I imagine had to have been a fairly big upset of Blinky taking out Froggyland in that kind of match for 4th place, with a lot of names on this team being newcomers to Invite.
Yeah, I think it's interesting. Pretty much, I feel like RGL's kind of fallen into a little bit of form. You expect whoever your number one team is, you mostly expect them to be the number one seed and make it to the finals. It's nice to see an upset, see a number 4 find their way into these lower bracket finals. I mean, look, Blinky do have a really tough matchup ahead of them with Fast Fourth, but just think of it, there is a world that by the end of tonight, your number 4 seed could be trying to duke it out for first prize against Team Fun, which, look, if they find their way through Fast Fourth somehow, that bodes well. I don't know, it could at least be an interesting grand final, but we got a lot of TF2 before we get there.
Yeah, so let's run down the rosters real quick. I'll take the side of Fast Fourth, with Blank being on Scout, Ether on Soldier, Melon on Pyro, DT on Demoman, Poseidon on Heavy, Rebel on Engineer, Toy on Medic, Mujet on Sniper, and Jay-Yeezy in on Spy.
And for Blinky, we've got Apple on Scout, Voyager on Soldier, Fuzzy on Pyro, Mori on Demo Man. Shout out Mori. I just learned about more.tf. Very awesome. Shout out. Dot Wet on Heavy, Flu Walrus on NG, Snoozy June on Medic, Buko on Sniper, and Lucky is the Spy. So like you said, a lot of like newer names, not the ones that we've seen recycled for years and years and years through Invite.
Definitely, and I mean, you gave him a shout out, Maury. I also want to give Maury a shout out, as he really is. I think you could, from what I've gathered, the up and comer of this season, and I want to put focus on him because I think that, as the Twitch, the betting points will tell you right now, Fast Fourth are heavily favored to win this match, but Maury is the player that I'm looking towards on Blinky to be the difference maker, because he is a force on Demo Man. When he is allowed to have space and allowed to cook, he will serve up a Michelin star meal. The man he's a man possessed on Demo Man. And DT, while I think that's a player that a lot of people may see him on demo, especially if they haven't been watching all of Invite this season, like myself, and think, oh, he's not a stud on demo. He may not be a Jared, he may not be a Bull type, but every log I've seen of him on demo has been solid. He's not a, pushover by any means, but looking at these two rosters, it is hard for me to find somewhere that I can really get behind Blinky and see, okay, this is our win con, outside of Mori just going Super Saiyan tonight and blowing away the competition.
Yeah, they definitely do. It's going to be a really tough matchup, and I think one of those, the fact that we're starting out on Asheville, and Asheville is Fast Fourth's pick, and it's also a place where your scout can do so much work. Obviously, Koth Maps, Product, Brute, there's a lot of room for scouts to do a lot of damage. I feel like Asheville, to me at least, is like the best map to play as a scout. You've got so many different opportunities. You can get underneath the point to go through and mess with teams. There's so many great flanks, and Blank being the scout for Fast Fourth, that's a pretty scary prospect for Blinky if they want to try to upset them on Fast Fourth's own map pick.
Yeah, it puts a lot in, and as I do see a ready up, I do want to take a quick pause to do a couple of shout-outs as a week from today. This is a Saturday Highlander match. Crazy, I know. The 4v4 Pastime Cup will be running. And I know some people may be looking at this with a bit of skepticism, but do not knock it until you try it. It is like UGC4s mixed with B-ball on steroids. It is some of the most fun I've had playing TF2 in years. You get soldiers, a demo knight, medics. It's all of the air shots and, you know, insane crossbows and crazy plays that you might expect from like an ulti duo match, but there's a little bit more of a team behind it. It's not just fragging. You know, your air movement is incredible. I've seen AM6's players practicing dude perfect trick shots for hours on end, and then they get into a pug and they nail it, and it is the most beautiful thing you've ever seen in TF2. So if you haven't seen too much of it, look up the trailer on YouTube. Go watch that, and if you're still not impressed, I don't know what to tell you. There's an official Discord for it. Try to add up to the pugs, and try to get in on this, because I'm not going to say broad statements like it's the future, but it is definitely something to look into, and a really cool change of pace.
Yeah, I mean, just the second most beautiful thing in TF2 might be this graphic that we had right there. We got Sisyphus pushing the jack up the hill.
Yeah.
on the, you know, one must imagine TF2 Sisyphus happy. But yeah, Pastime, you sold it on me. We're talking about it a little bit beforehand, and seems like a lot of fun. I'll definitely have to catch the stream next time or next week and see how it's going on. The second shout out that we want to do, if you haven't been watching, if you haven't been paying attention, there is a new merch drop. This drop is only a couple weeks old. I think we shouted out, and there are a lot of new awesome designs to check out. So make sure you go to shop.rgl.gg and pick up one of your favorite designs. You got hoodies, shirts, whatever you feel comfortable in. You got stickers as well. I really do like a lot of these designs, and I think they're very clean. You know what I mean? They don't look amateurish or anything. So pick one up, support the league, get something cool to wear around the house, and, you know, get Cheeto dust and wipe your fingers on.
I'm involuntarily cringing at that, but no, this
brand
is
new shirt.
This is probably the best wave of merch I think I've seen. There is no W pits in this collection. Every single design is really solid, and I think over time we've kind of started to hone in on like exactly the type of aesthetic that RGL wants to see, and I'm really glad to see that come through, as everything there looks super clean. But perfect timing for this plug to end, as we are now going live. Or are we? Not quite.
False start.
A bit of a bait there, but because I'd expect sooner rather than later. Vox, let me get your preds real quick.
All right, well, I am gonna have to sadly say this will likely be a 2-0 for Fast Fourth. I just think Asheville is going to be too difficult for Blinky, and that momentum, even though Vigil is their map pick, I still worry. I hope that it's a close match, at least on Vigil, but Asheville is...
Let me get your Asheville round score.
4-0, I gotta be honest.
All right, I'm going to 4-1. I think Mori and Buko are going to step up and really just kind of carry around here. I'm also in agreement that it's difficult for me to... I would not be betting against Fast Fourth here, but I want to have faith in Mori. I've had the experience of playing against that man back in Maine, and I'm still scarred from it, so...
Well, we've got Mori and DT out on the mid, the first two players. Mori might go down, and he does. Jay Yeezy gets the revolver out and tags him down. A couple picks now going in the favor of Fast Fourth. Snoozy June might need just to make sure. Gets out.
And the Goon Squad waiting on ramp.
That's a rough one, and yeah, the mid's going to go in the favor of Fast Fourth.
Yeah, do want to point out, I did say Mori and Buko are going to step up for a round, not necessarily the first one, as that mid felt like something of a blitz coming out of Fast Fourth. Just tons of damage. Jay Easy doing the, you know, shot away tech, I'd like to call it, the revolver dead ringer. Simply plus forward at the demo man, make his life as miserable as possible, and if he doesn't get heals instantly, that revolver's enough to take him down. He is already waiting on ramp for something to happen. Dot Wet walking up on heavy, not going for the spy check, gonna get taken out. We are going to pop, so Buko stays alive just long enough to actually take down DT, so they do get quite a few kills here. Toy also looks like had been forced earlier, I want to say.
Yeah,
so,
I missed that.
Yeah, I think we missed that, but full ad, or not full ad, but ad on the side of Blinky here. So less than a minute off the clock, and they are in position to potentially retake this soon.
Yeah, the problem is that position is something they don't actually have. They're all just caught up in their bats inside. Oh, wow, yeah.
Toy has built this Uber so well, just erased a 20. It was 60-40, and he just completely erased the ad. The Uber comes out, but they did not expect Toy to be building that quickly. Lucky's gonna go down. Suzy June's gonna make it out of Shutter, but absolutely nothing is done with that Uber. That ad was removed through Toy's building alone.
Well, Buko does get a pick on Mujet, so maybe that's going to give him a little bit of confidence to get out there. With after down 2, they are down their scout. Blinky is, as Mori picks up Melon, goes down in the trade, although Blinky is just still bleeding some numbers. Yeah, this is, I mean, oh wait, hold on, Snoozy June so low. Jay Yeezy's on the hunt, and there is the butter knife.
Yeah, Jay-Z's found June twice now. Not sure if he actually got the kill the first time in lobby, but Mori, yeah, trying to step up here, and I think Mori got a little bit too aggressive on the crates, pushing forward. Was able to get the kill on Melon, but died in exchange. Not the trade you're looking for. When, you have that sniper pick, you need your demo to stay alive, as we do move into a pause.
Yeah, well, we got 60 seconds in the future. I want to say... not to spoil, but it does feel like that might be an end of round pause.
This feels like attack pause to me.
Yeah.
This feels like Blinky saying, okay, we're here, we made it to placement match. Oh, say that again, Dolphin? Somebody's glitching, so it won't be heard. So maybe, it looks like we're wrong then. But even so, I would agree that it's probably pretty well timed. Towards the end of the round seems likely, and I think Blinky may need the pause here, because every single time Mori has tried to walk forward, he has been exploded.
Yeah, this is I mean, it's a rough start, and I mean, like we said, coming into this, it was always going to be an uphill battle, and maybe this first round, you kind of almost expect it to go this way, and hopefully Blinky can find a way to, build on a little bit of like, okay, here's not what's going well, this is what we can do better, and find their way into it. I think one other thing to mention, we were watching a little bit of the pregame that Fast Fourth had. They were playing Team Fun, and they were beating Team Fun on Asheville. Now, I don't know if Team Fun were really going 100%. I didn't have the aliases on, so I wasn't even totally paying attention if everyone was main classing or what. But either way, it just goes to show that this might be a really strong map for Fast Fourth. I guess I'm just further setting the stage for this one to be a tough one for Blinky, but I hope that they can build a little bit off this round.
Yeah, and I think what they really want to do is they just want to get their players in a mentality where they feel like they can play the game. Because even though Buko is currently top scoring and has gotten a number of decent kills, they're all, I don't want to say hero shots, but Buko getting jumped on by 3 people and still managing to get a kill while they're getting obliterated. Like that, which is fantastic. That is the mark of a very skilled player who's able to still put out results while getting focused and turn what would have been just losing your sniper into trading your sniper for a demo. But yeah, like as you said, right, this could just be Fast Forward's map, and maybe 100 out of 100 timelines they don't win on it. But there's a difference between just getting stomped on and feeling completely outmatched versus playing in a way where you can get Buko, you can get Mori, you can maybe even, maybe you get lucky in positions where they feel like they can do things. They have a little bit of mojo going, you know what I mean? They have that confidence that when they go into the next map on Vigil, they're going to be able to keep up that performance and that they can stand on equal footing.
Yeah, and it's also, going to be a totally different map, just in terms of the Koth versus Stopwatch, right? Like we've seen, okay, if a team is just stronger, let's say, they have a stronger scout and a stronger sniper, something like that. Yeah, a Koth map can go completely one way, but just like the team play that's required sometimes, the smart, knowing when to hold him, knowing when to fold him, right, on the defense, those kinds of things, those kinds of little mistakes, a team can take advantage of, even if necessarily when you go down the roster, they're not as strong. But I mean, for this one, yeah, it has been pretty handy. It's been won pretty handily so far by Fast Fourth in this first round. Like you said, Buko has been playing well. I want to see Mori had a pick, kind of a clutch pick before, like you said, maybe overextending a little bit on the point. It seems like they've shown the ability to get a couple of picks, but they're also bleeding in the process, so they can't get that full collapse to then jump on the point and take a little time off in their favor.
Yeah, agreed. Agreed. Yeah, it's just getting that together. And something too, always to remember, right, is that Koth tends to be more about whatever team is more consistent and is, able to average a higher level of play over a period of time. The snowballing nature of Stopwatch, especially a map like Vigil, where you can have such really short times, is more about, if not saying, okay, our team goes from 0 to 100, we have to average an 80. It's but if you hit that 100 one time, you can win a half off of that. Kind of plays into why Steel is always seen as the upset map, right? Because all it takes is that one kind of perfect storm of plays going right, and you can pull a half out. And if it happens once, it can happen again. So, yeah, as, not to repeat myself, but I kind of am just looking for those big playmakers. Maybe even seeing Voyager get a little bit more done, right? Those classes that you can look at on a Stopwatch map that, all it takes is one good chain stab coming out of Lucky, Buko letting a couple headshots in a row, Mori just, steamrolling one fight. You win second on Vigil, you can snowball that directly into last and get yourself like a 4-minute time. Which maybe it's a little bit disrespectful to be talking about how they can win Vigil when they're still in Asheville, but if I say this last round, like it's not already over, which it isn't, but highly doubtful Blinky comes back to win this round. It's unless things drastically change, then it's going to be difficult for me to see them taking this map.
Yeah, on a little bit of a pivot, I'm currently flying around the map trying to find this space hamster that Dolphin's looking at. Now, I've matched up where the moon is. I see the smokestack, and yet somehow this space hamster is completely eluding me. Were you aware of the Asheville space hamster?
I was not.
Unless this is it's a cosmetic. We're just flying in the sky.
Someone's got Hammy on? Who's got Hammy on?
Let's see. We got some cats on. If we get an Apple cam, we've got some cats on Apple. So it's not. Oh, I see. It's Voyager. Voyager, the soldiers got the hamster chilling.
Yes, purple Hammy to be precise. All right, this pause has been going on a bit. I think it's time for a drip check.
Yeah, I was about to say that. Like, who do we want to? We got Toy's got the slippers on. I respect the slippers. Very comfy, cozy outfit from the Blue Medic.
I noticed both Fuzzy and Apple have the cats on.
Let's see.
Apple's even got the Max head on too. Feels like most people on Blinky have some kind of animal.
There's a certain level of appreciation I have for, like, as a team, we're all gonna wear like a similar misc. I'm not saying that, like, you got to come out with like a team uniform and make it, super hardcore. But I like the idea of, like, all right, everyone put on their Bills hat. I don't know, just a little extra, thing for the vibe check and say, like, we're here, we're here, and we're ready to dominate. I don't know. Let's see. Ether has nothing on.
Blank doesn't either. They're matching in that regard. I'm gonna be honest. There's no one here that's blowing me away.
No. I don't know.
I think Rebel. I think I gotta give it to Rebel, honestly.
Let's see. I gotta find.
I think the
Rebel
Wavefinder's a really underrated hat.
Oh yeah, that's nice. I like that.
And the goblin ears and nose peeking through the Sentry viewfinder. I mean, it's Asheville, so he's probably just doing a lot of wrangling off of bats. So that's a very apt cosmetic.
I think Melon with the Pyromancer's mask, that's a classic, you know what I mean? That's an OG kind of misc repping for the Pyro.
Not a fan of the green.
I can understand that. Yeah.
Bit of a clash.
We got the Heisenberg NG with Flu Walrus.
Because of the pause, DT's parrot is it was headbanging really fast, and now it's gone.
Oh,
And now we're back.
we're back. No longer
So
need to fill
I don't
dead
know
air.
about how, but there is about 60 seconds left for for fast fourth right now. Well, the cap does just go back in favor, and are we paused again? We are. Fantastic.
Is that maybe just for the connect? Like the, I kind of vaguely, it's been so long since I played, but wasn't that like a pause and then the player would join and then you'd pause again or something like that? Am I making
Yeah,
this
you
up?
can repause to let someone in who's on sending client info, but I feel like that wouldn't be that long of a
Yeah, true.
unpause. Oh,
Oh, all right,
hopefully
we're back in. All right,
Buko
so
will
Blank
find that
goes
pick onto
down.
Blank, and but they Uber directly onto Mori, who jumps out to safety. What an escape! But Dotwet's gonna get taken out, and they have lost all semblance of point control right now. The recap's gonna come right back in. Buko again finding Poseidon, really starting to warm up here, but does not look like it will be enough. Voyager's doing his best to try to stop something. Lucky finding a pick, but only on the engineer. All the core classes are still alive, and the recap will come through. Guess they might be delaying spawns a little bit, but we are recap.
I definitely appreciate the job that Buko is doing. Asheville can be a difficult map. A sniper, and he finds the pick onto Toy, so I think this might be the recap coming in, especially with the Uber. Buko and Mujet in a little bit of an SVS. Looks like it's not going to go down right away. Mujet charging up a shot. But, the bomb in from Ether. Doesn't find anything. Good retake on that one. Clutch pick by Buko. Just a good job for Blinky. I mean, they're finding their way back into this one.
Yeah, this round we thought it was over, but they've done a good job getting back here. Is Mori the one who's glitching out? Looks a little, Talwet giving him a couple love taps. Wake up, wake up. But, yep, there's the pause. Mori looks like coming back in as, that was where the pause was in real time.
I'm currently reconnecting as my game crashed, so it's all you for. Just
Gotcha. Yeah, it'll be good to reset. You'll get your HUD back up anyway. So, coming out, and Buko finding another on Poseidon coming in. Ether getting deep into Shutter. Will force out that Uber, though, and they are going to find Melon. So, ultimately, just a sack wave came at it with the, aggression of what they thought might have been a dry push, but they were not able to protect Snoozy June's Uber, so she was end up forced there. Toy now with the full ad, waiting for spawns, and then they're going to come back in. Need to see something really good here happen. They're getting the time down, but Mujit already opening up onto Ethel, so they're already down one into this disad. Dotwet playing forward, trying to get an early force. Will not find it. Ether in on point. Good surf out by June, and Ether will go down, but the team is collapsing around her. Blank with the chase. June not able to get out. Voyager going down as well. At this point, will come in for the blue team eventually. Fast forward, looking to hopefully close it out on this cap here. But there is some time left for Blinky to mount one last net as Lucky coming and getting Toy. That's a very big pick. They're forced to extend the spawn as well, meaning that June likely won't have time for an Uber, but if they're able to capitalize on the lack of heals, get a cap in, they could have an Uber with which to defend with.
Yeah, I set 15 seconds. They definitely have to find a way to jump in. I mean, I'm kind of a fan in some of these moments. Yeah, I'm kind of a fan in some of these moments, grabbing the quick fix or even a crit screen or something like that for the faster charge, but they get some time on the point. Everyone from Fast Fourth is a little bit back, but they might jump in for the collapse right after. Ether bumps in on Snoozy June, low health, and she goes down. Time still going on the point. Almost everyone just Toy alive now for Fast Fourth.
Okay. Oh, they're letting that point. That was a little bit less comfortable than I would have liked. But no, yeah, Snoozy June going down is the big win there. Fast Fourth knows here that they can give up this cap. They still have 50 seconds left. Toy is alive. 50 seconds is more than enough time for Toy to build up an Uber. But now the ad is gone. They say, okay, we'll sack everyone, keep our meta alive back at spawn. Now we've got ad again, so there's going to need to be some kind of hero play. Lucky in lobby, keeping eyes on people, but not really in position to do anything to Toy, who's now at 50. June, though, doing a good job building to try to catch up, reduced it to only a 10 or so % ad. This is probably a smaller ad than Fast Forward thinks it is.
Yeah, Rebel going down right now, the only pick in the favor of us. Oh, yeah, that's a big one. Losing your demo, there's no area denial now. Voyager trying to keep Ether back. This is scary. 10 seconds remaining. Toy about to have Uber. I think June's gonna have Uber hopefully before she might go down. Sticks around. Oh, she pops just in time. And then we've got an awkward Uber fight on the point. Who's it gonna go to?
They've was got so time. Big there, but they trade heavies, and that's in favor of Fast Fourth. But they're pulling it off. Blinky is coming up absolutely huge in these fights. No Mori, no problem. And they're able to pull it out. June pulling some turbo building out at the end there. That was a 20+ ad for Toy that she made, you know, only a 5 ad. Getting that Uber off there, keeping Dotwet alive. They're able to take Poseidon out. You know, they traded heavies, but getting those heavies out of the way in an overtime fight so big, and Blinky out of nowhere take the first round.
That is amazing. Just the fact, the way we were setting it up too, it just makes it so much sweeter to watch the underdog come in and have a good start. But this second round not starting great for Blinky. Mori went down early and then Buko. Yeah.
Didn't even know that the scout was decloaking on her, basically, as that will be that. And again, a very good mid coming out from the side of Fast Fourth. Mori, again, the first one to go down. Thought it might have been even because Buko pulled out a counter snipe onto Mujet, but, you know, just no demo is too much of a, you know, too much of an issue there. Both demos on lock and load?
That's a good point. I don't know. I haven't been paying attention exactly what they were running, but I mean, Asheville is a map where a lot of times your combo ends up grouped up pretty heavy.
Mori's on it. Mujet's not, but or not Mujet. DT's on Iron Bomber, I'm pretty sure. But a couple kills going in. Melon and DT both going down in Shutter. There's some really big picks right there. Lular's getting hit up very low by some spam rockets, but will just barely survive. And Dotwet has so much space. It should be a free cap off of that.
Yeah, although Dotwet gets the kill, Ether might retaliate, but it doesn't. Dotwet gets out, but the Uber comes in. DT is in forward, but ends up getting dropped in the Uber just so far forward that Toy couldn't get the beam onto him. So it's not great for Fast Fourth. They do find a couple of picks, Blank especially doing work inside their house as they still continue to hold the cap. Fast Fourth is just got to be careful with June at this point. 90%, we've seen the ability for Fast Fourth to get onto the medic, but June should have Uber, and we'll see how this push ends up occurring.
Oh, Buko going on ramp to try to get a pick. Will get forced out. Manages to stay alive as the Uber comes out now. Toy does not have. Melon and Rebel going to be down right away. Mori trying to get a little bit aggro into Shutter there. Stop maybe any Shutter pushers as Mujet accidentally dodging pipes on Bads. But Dotwin and Buko both go down, so even with the space they got from the Uber, they're still not capping. It's been 2 minutes in, and they're only finally about to get their first cap. J-Easy finds a kill lucky in the middle of 7 people. You cannot let that happen.
Oh, but Ether from on top. June and Fuzzy go down. Ether double bombed behind them, grabbed the pack over on Bats, and then found his way with a huge high bomb to take down the medic. Oh my god, Ether is just so good. He's really a difference maker for this team.
Yeah, and I mean, it's a little bit frustrating to watch Blinky, who just pulled out that first round by playing so well, have 2 cases now where they should have gotten the point for free and just kind of bungle it. Just, they're not playing together enough. Mori walking out of Shutter, Skybox instantly, and will go down. Mujet taking the alley-oop on that. No demo yet again. Mori has not been finding a lot of breathing room right now. And, I mean, I said it last time and they pulled it out, but this round, for real this time, surely has to go in favor of Fast Fourth when they're up, almost about to pull off a flawless round.
Yeah, this, I mean, June is getting close to Uber, but either way, Toy has one. Just waiting, sitting in the back pocket. And the Blank does go down. I mean, it's something, but they're going to have to get some cap time as the Uber comes out onto Melon. Melon, yeah, that's just a perfect use. Use your Pyro to air blast them off and take that round and even things up 1-1.
That should not have been a flawless round. Like, Fast Fourth did not play nowhere near as well enough, excuse me, to deserve that. It was just, they had Dotwet on boxes, like the enemy team's boxes, and like 6 people in Shutter. No one's capping.
Yeah, Dotwet was just left on an island there to go down. Oh, Mujet already taken down Buko in this mid. Ether and Toxic doing a lot of work as well. Damage going all over for the side of Fast Fourth. Just Flew Walrus left alive. And there's the full wipe. Clean mid there from Fast Fourth, and it looks like they've hit another gear now in these past 2 rounds.
Yeah, it's just, I think I'd be very interested to pull up the more.tf of those mids and see the damage spread out, but it consistently feels like everyone on Blinky is just not healthy. Consistently, everyone is on a sliver of health, being forced to back off, making the cleanups for JEZ and Blank so easy, and I have to put that on DT.
Yeah.
Mujet goes down to a Wrath Assassin ball. That's one way to get a sniper pick. Very interesting Uber right now. The Uber's in the middle of lobby. June getting caught out behind it on her own ramp, but Toy stabbed out in the back end of that. So despite getting the medic, this is gonna go in favor of Blinky, honestly, with 5 now dead, the faster spawns, the faster medic spawn, and the Uber ad.
Oh, Buko, that's a nice shot. Buko is really on a tear, really impressed so far with how he's been playing. But yeah, this is I mean, at the end of the day, I understand why Fast Fourth using the lobby, really just trying to dig their heel in, but it ends up working in Blinky's favor. I think off the back of Buko, for the most part, they got to really play around him and make sure that he's healthy and protected to continue getting the picks that he is. But speaking of picks, after just the easiest bomb.
Speaking of protected, Dotwet too far forward in Shutter while June is getting nuked out in the other Shutter by Ether, and that hold, you know, while well fought, is not going to last very long for Blinky.
Well, the point's not capped yet, but I think they were just waiting for spawns because now Melon and Poseidon are going to finish it off. So about 40 seconds taken off for Blinky, but they're staring at a pretty huge disad. So they're going to need someone to go in, get a clutch pick or get a force or something like that if they want to try to push this before, I don't know, without waiting another 20-30 seconds for that Uber.
Yeah, and gonna have to just see if they do anything in the meantime. You'd like to see a sack. They have, 20 seconds to burn here, but it doesn't look like they're going to. And June's in a position where, should something go wrong, she could get caught out here. But looks like they're just trying to kind of weasel some point control. They're gonna drop Buko and Dotwet though off down on ramp, which is gonna solve things. And now they're up on Uber, but they're already down 2. And do find Ever, but they trade soldiers to do it. Are they gonna take the Uber in down a player? Doesn't look like they are.
Yeah, I mean, Blinky do just have to wait. Now, you want your soldier in. NG's probably not as important, but you want your soldier in to continue to maybe follow up on the damage your demo is doing. And now they lose their scout too. So every second they wait, this.
Yeah, they are losing so much time on everything here. They're gonna take a Pyro Uber in onto nothing. Now here comes the counter Uber coming out from Troy. Looks like June will escape back into Shutter, but again, all of the positioning they gained, forced all the way back right here. They finally might come in for the recap. There's too many dead on the side of Fast Fourth. But Mujet now gonna find Apple there, so no scout. You had to delay your scout here. You are down 2 minutes. It's 1 player.
Oh my god, they do manage to get the cap. 8 seconds remaining. Mori goes down. Voyager got picked up as well. I mean, this just feels like Fast Fourth are going to smother them here and manage to grab this point. I mean, everyone has to back out. Like you said, everyone's on a sliver of health. There's nobody healthy right now. Dotwet's eating the sandwich as Snoozy June tries her best to get everyone up. But yeah, they use Uber out of Shutter. They're getting stuffed. The point should go down regardless.
They're denying it. They use the Uber to deny the cap. Fuzzy doing a good job keeping people off of it. They've just milked themselves a lot of time here. Maybe time for spawns. Mori, though, going in next to try to stop it. They know that if they give up this cap, they probably won't be able to get back onto it. Too many dead. And that is going to be the first half going over to Fast Fourth, 2-1.
Yeah, definitely a little bit awkward in the second half of that round. I mean, the one pick JEZ got, so that Uber we were just waiting for Snoozy June to use. What ended up happening is they drop off of batch. JEZ gets a stab onto the demo, and then I think June just get a little bit of a panic pop because JEZ missed the stab on her back, so ends up popping just on a pyro, and that's how you get that really kind of just not so great Uber, and you're just left like, okay, well, what were we supposed to do there, basically? So it's a tough one, Jay-Z, just with a clutch pick, making Blinky play on their back foot.
I'm gonna soapbox for a bit. For all the young, impressionable minds out there. When, way back in the UGC days, the only time you delayed a point cap was if your med was dead. Ultimately, I think that's a bad call. However, I am seeing teams like Blinky fall victim to this time and time again, where they're letting perfect play get in the way of good. Because they will inevitably drop someone in their repush. They say, oh, we don't want to delay our engineer. Doesn't matter that he died right when we were about to cap, and now we're waiting 8 seconds to recap that. No, we don't want to delay our engie. That would be terrible. How could we delay our valuable engineer? And then what they do is they sit near the point for 8 seconds, which gives more than enough time for everyone on fast forward to respawn, get forward, keep applying pressure, and then in the interest of not denying their engineer, because now they have to play in this awkward position on the point rather than just capping and moving on and getting in a safer position, they bleed people delaying for the engineer.
Yeah, that's a very...
I mean, I can't hear their comms, but to me it looked like every single time that Blinky had a good push going, they didn't cap as quickly as they could have because they were delaying for non-vital classes. And in a case like right at the end there, right? They're about to cap, Apple gets sniped, which, like, that is Apple's problem there, but cap the point. You know what I mean? Like, they're not yet on overtime. Don't give them overtime to, you know, to get your scout back faster when he peeked the sightline when he shouldn't have.
Yeah.
And all of those little moments, right, like towards the end there, because they were waiting for Apple, Mori had to play more aggressive, get up in shutter to stall them, and died for it. So then when they finally get Apple back, Mori's now dead. And they just keep doing it over and over again, and it is driving me bonkers. Not only, and on top of like the fact that you give them time, it's just more time off the clock. You know, you delay for an engineer 3 times, that's 30 seconds that you've just given them. One time, maybe it's okay. You know, maybe if you've got a lot of time left and you want to make sure your demo's up, right? And he's, you know, died halfway through the point cap early in the round, okay, sure. Towards the end of the round, if your scout dies when the point's 90% capped, that's his problem. Cap it, get back safely, don't bleed players, because we can't deny anyone. That would be terrible. Or delay anyone.
It's a tough call to make, in certain situations. But yeah, when you're a team like Blinky right now, just seems to be playing off the back foot. When you've got you're kind of bleeding players just as a rule right now, it feels like, because the damage fast forward they're putting forward has been so good. I mean, it's just every time you look at Blinky's health, it's just like everyone's on like 30-40 HP. People are grabbing packs. Snoozy June's running around just like, who can I heal first? So yeah, that one player, it's the order of priorities. You know,
I don't know.
if you're in a good position. I have been looking at those logs. It's blank, yeah.
Oh, blank.
Run rampant on Asheville. It's just such a great map for a scout.
And actually, a lot of the classes are very even here. Much more so than I would have expected. Mujin and Buko are 1 kill apart. Mujin has 1 more kill, Buko has 1 more DPM. The demos are shockingly similar. DT's got 40 more DPM, but I think what's important there, DT has 6 less deaths than Mori.
Oh, wow.
And being alive on demo is always more valuable than being dead, even if you're getting damage for those deaths. I mean, Jay-Z did slightly better than Lucky, but when, you could chalk all that up to just fast forward being better at mids. So, the frags, they're not getting DM gapped into oblivion. They're getting out coordinated.
Yeah, and I mean, that's just fast forward showing their experience and showing why this is their map pick. So they're gonna hope to close this out quick, get these next 2 rounds. Oh, more, yeah, huge call. Well, Toy goes down early, but Blinky are the ones bleeding players. June's got to make sure that she gets out. Blank is behind enemy lines, doesn't get it done. And now Fast Forth, the one losing a couple of players. Ether bombs in. So nothing really got, Fastforth got players, but keeping June alive was huge that entire time. If June went down, I think Fastforth end up winning this mid, but they still haven't been able to cap it.
It's just funny to me that Mori doesn't instantly explode for the first mid out of 4 rounds and deletes coin instead. But they still haven't capped. Yeah, they dropped so many people, they're all so hurt. But the Uber comes out, now they have this ad. Is Toy gonna be able to get out? Perfect sticky coming out of Mori there. And it has been the Mori show for the past minute or so here, it feels like. Mori not having died this round, kind of giving some of that, control over the game that I was looking to see from the start. But, oh, J-Eazy able to find Fuzzy. That said, though, Blues Mini gets 2, Buko gets another. That sack wave not really doing too much there. And Blinky will continue to sit on a slight Uber ad over Toy.
They just finally capped the point. You said Mori had a solid minute. You wouldn't know it from looking at the clock because literally we just had our first 15 seconds tick off because of how long it took Blinky to cap that. Even with when they had numbers finally to do it. There's Buko going down. J-Eazy. That's a good person to focus.
Save our
Buko's been so good.
SOD. He'll just barely get out, but they're losing so much pressure here. DT, they're just walking out. No sniper means they can't hold the sight lines. Forced to rotate out onto bats. Blinky using in here. Toy on 97. Won't have any problem getting counter uses here now. Way better Uber for the blue team. Lucky getting caught in the middle of this, but Frag's already far in favor of Blinky here. June's gonna go down, but they still even have numbers. If we can see a couple kills come out in return, they may be able to continue holding this, and it looks like they will for the time being.
I'm not totally sure exactly what path June took there. June was in Shutter.
Apple in on... Oh, almost got Toy.
So June was in Shutter and then went back out, even though the Uber is still being used, went onto ramp and then blanked just with the easy cleanup. But Toy ended up, going down. So, I mean, things might stabilize. Yes, the cap goes in Fastforth's favor, but Blinky, I mean, this is the time to jump in. They do not have heals, and now their sniper is down. This is your chance. Get in. Don't wait for the Uber. Show some initiative.
Show some gumption.
They're just chilling.
Yeah, I mean, you gotta be in. The sniper's dead. You let them spawn. You could have had no sniper, no buffs to deal with. They let them get the buffs out. Sniper's still dead, thankfully. They're starting to cap, but I mean, Dot went very far forward here. Oh, we lost our heavy. Here comes the delay.
Yeah, it's just
Mori's
not
dead.
enough players. Mujit taken down. Mori, it's just they waited a little bit too long. They had the players. I know the health wasn't, maybe everyone wasn't completely healthy, but oh my God, Mujit just picking off players one by one. Fuzzy, you're next. Or Ether.
Oh, we'll force out that Uber though. Onto a Pyro too. Fuzzy trying to walk into Shutter. Gonna get denied by the Sticky. Demo denying the Pyro. Bit of a role reversal right there. But June goes down in Shutter. Ether just stayed behind in ramp like a sleeper agent. Reactivated. Kills June in Shutter. And I mean, there wasn't even anyone dead and they delayed the cap. They could have been in that the second that they got the sniper pick and they waited so long.
I mean, they got to be seeing ghosts right now, Blinky. I mean, the fact that they got to be so scared of just the potential of someone from Fastforth being there just seems to be enough.
On Asheville Pass.
Oh boy, I don't know. So Toy with 100% Uber, Blinky just relegated to hang out on the bats. This is a tough position to be in because Fastforth have all the positioning now, or all the momentum in their favor. The clock's ticking for them. I don't know. It seems like, barring something unusual, I do think Fastforth. It just looks like they're in a better spot to close this out with the way they're playing.
I'm gonna say that in the start of this, I imagine that this would be Fastforth's win because they just have the DM advantage, and unless like Buko, Lucky, and Mori went Super Saiyan, they would just get kind of like categorically slammed out of these games. That's not happening as we have an Uber exchange going on point. They're way better for the blue side though, so I don't think we're gonna see too much happen. June gets run down by J-Eazy in lobby. What I'd argue, I'm almost more concerned because Fastforth is not playing this map nearly as well as I would like to see, and yet Blinky is still not capitalizing on it, seemingly just by their own inability to hold the W key.
Yeah, it's interesting. I mean, especially as coming in as a little bit of an underdog. I get playing a little slow, but you came out, you won the first round. It's been highly competitive. Like, it's not like as apart from maybe one round, it's Fatsworth haven't been coming in and just completely dominating. Yeah, they're just playing forward and no chance on that one. You know, it's not like Fastforth have been completely dominating. You should have some confidence to be able to go out onto the point when you know their medic is down. You know, I'm not saying put yourself in a bad position. And sniper, yeah. I'm not saying put yourself in a bad position, but just play carefully, but play forward. But either way, let's see if Mori can have as much impact on this mid as he had last time.
Not twice, though, as Dotlet's going to get destroyed. But Mori there, going to take out 2 before he goes down. So kill ad in favor right now of Blinky. Ether and Lucky, I think, are going to trade each other out right there. Soldier and Spy. Jay-Z caught lower, and they're going to win this. But yeah, I mean, back to what you were saying, though, what I will say is that the fact that Fast Fourth isn't playing this well on their map gives me hope for Vigil, under the assumption that Blinky is more practiced on it and more confident on it.
Yeah,
I'm hoping, for their sake, that if Fast Fourth shows these weaknesses on Vigil, Blinky will be more confident and more comfortable on the map, and they'll be able to take advantage of it and go in there on an Asheville. As this Uber gets forced, they're going to catch DT and Toy under bats. Going through Secret, have the slightly worse Uber, but they're going to not get too much, but Blueteam's not going to get that much done with it. They're going to fight Buko, but Lucky picks off Toy. Mori, Voyager, and Lucky all going down, though, so losing the battle, but winning the war, you could say, is Blinky here, as they have the time ad, some delays coming in as they wanted to make sure Toy was up before capping. Understandable delay, might I add, but it leads to a 30% ad for June.
Well, I was keeping an eye a little bit on Jay-Z, kind of behind enemy lines to take down Apple, but I was hoping maybe to see him go for a stab on on June. We'll see. Right now, kind of a familiar position for Blinky, hanging out inside the house and chilling on top of bats, just waiting for an opening, waiting for that pick. Buko, oh, just the person I was looking for. Mujet, great counter snipe. Make sure that it's not going to come from his end. I think Mujet's been doing a good job so far this half, neutralizing Buko, not letting him go as crazy as he did last time.
Yeah, I definitely would have given Buko the nod in the SVS in the first half, but Mujet's been turning it around, and that is not a good sign that he's going to do it. And Jay-Z also finding Mori. Buko, though, as I say, that turns it around onto Mujet with no demo, though. It's going to put them in a bit of a sticky situation here as they have some presence, but not maybe the damage to lock anyone out. Poseidon going to get hit up. I think that was a headshot that came in, or at least a body shot from Buko. Really important. Ether bombing in. They're trying to find something, but not going to get it. Will end up going down. Uber exchange here in favor of the red team. DT finds Buko. A little bit of sloppy play, but frags are going to be exchanged. The point, though, still in favor of Fast Fourth, but not for long, I don't believe, because Mujet picks off Flu Walrus.
Oh, here we go. They're not going to cap. They're waiting for their engineer to come up. And June running around just in the middle of everything. I mean, that's just the perfect way to get headshot. Oh, boy. Mujet.
Can't cap again.
It's, I don't know. It's a glaring mistake. And it's easy, you know, when you're watching everything with a bird's eye view, and we know where Fast Fourth are and everything like that, but it, like you said, it's just very frustrating to watch over. You wish you could just reach through the screen 60 seconds ago and just say, please, just cap the point.
Yeah, I mean, there are times where it's just like, go! It's like, they're nowhere near. You have 3 people in Shutter, and their nearest person is, like, on the back of bats. Just walk up and cap. Stack the cap and get a hold off.
Oh,
and I mean, credit to Fast Fourth where it's due, right? For being able to keep, even when they're losing fights, keep enough members alive to keep kind of harassing the cappers on Blinky, that they're able to find these picks. Because it's not entire, you know, as much as I think that Blinky is failing to capitalize here, Fast Fourth isn't making it easy for them at the same time. But, you know, you're one of the 3rd best Highlander teams in North America at this point. You know, the standard is there.
Yeah, and
I mean, Ether gonna get the first.
Great bomb in from Ether, just such an impactful player. But yeah, no, the standard's there, and you know, I think they.
Yes,
I want to see Blinky
look at this forward hold.
Oh, here we go. Yes. All right.
Signs of life. Signs of life.
Well, maybe this is exactly what I'm talking about, because I was going to say I want them to play with the confidence to know that, and they're only underdogs just by a slight amount.
Going out on bats alone, gonna find Mori. Buko gets stabbed. Oh, it's
and I think
tragic. I love
going
seeing
down.
the aggression there. That's what you need when your backs are against the wall like this. You have the time to that, and unfortunately, they're just not able to execute it. I mean, Heart's in the right place though, because that's exactly the type of hold you should be pulling off. Maybe you get aggressive, get a lucky pick on their med, even though they have ad. I mean, thankfully they were able to back everyone else out though, right? Which is fine. They went that far forward, they bought themselves 20, 30 seconds of time, and they kept their med. Now they can take an exchange, and that's what a forward holds for, as Poseidon's going to be forced to get flushed, but the Uber way better on the blue team. Mori in Shutter trying to get damage out, but Lucky and Ethel going to be the first two dead.
Yeah, the Uber's coming out. It means Blinky has an opportunity to get out and hopefully get onto point, but they just haven't found that opening pick. And actually, it's Jay Easy that finds Buko again. Just a great job, I think, Fast Forth to make sure neutralizing Buko, the most impactful player for Blinky during that map. But that is going to be the score. And you were correct on the 4-1. I mean, a lot of close rounds.
Another easy victory for Doris Highlander.
Oh man, that takes me back.
A simple 4-1.
Simple 4-1.
Just as predicted.
Door, man.
I would not have guessed
simpler times.
Round, but
yeah,
as it is. I mean,
I agree. I don't think I was expecting the first round, especially where that pause came out. Everything in my head was like, okay, yeah, 60 seconds delayed. There's 60 seconds left on the cap.
Yeah,
the
we're
captain
like, oh, that's
immediately
attack pause because the round's already over, and then they make us look like fools and come back and win it. So, I mean, I don't want to focus too much on what we saw in Nashville. I mean, we can maybe take a little bit to look at the logs, but the way I see it and the way I hope Blinky sees it is that Fast Fourth is very mortal. On their own map, no less. Meaning that going into Vigil, where you would have to hope that Blinky is more practiced, more confident, able to take advantage of those, and perhaps Fast Fourth may show even more openings. The formula's there.
Definitely, and I think just with a payload, it neutralizes. I think you can make the argument that Blank is probably like the best player for Fast Fourth. I mean, Ether's impact does not show up in just like top fragging or anything like that. His impact obviously is just clutch picks, bombs over the top, just being a nuisance. But Blank consistently plays well, and I think obviously with payload as a scout, you're spending a lot of time on the cart when you're on offense, and when you're on defense, you can't stray too far from the path. You want to make sure that you're there, playing around your combo, making so. In a way, yes, going onto a payload map, I think helps in a lot of ways, like you mentioned, but also too, kind of just by default neutralizing Blank's ability, just the ceiling there, just a bit.
Yeah, something else too is that I want to point out how that first round turned out, because like you said, it was paused. There was a minute left for Fast Fourth. You saw like one captain through, but then they basically held it for like 2.5 minutes consecutively, right? And I've seen this with some teams. The first one that comes to mind is Somebody Help when they had, a few seasons ago when they were, placing it in finals. As Somebody Help to me was / is a team that's very inertial, where they're very, if they just have to defend, they're very good at that. They are more than happy. It's hard for them to move quickly. They don't come in. They're not going to be that. Sometimes like we'll see teams like. Back in the day, we'd see maybe like a K&D Apollo Dash match, right? Where it felt like the point cap went back and forth every 40 seconds. Somebody Help was not a team that would play like that. They would lose the mid. It would take them 1.5 minutes to recap, but then they'd hold the point for 2 minutes. You know what I mean? It's a much slower style where once they're set up on defense, they'll really get a good hold off, but on the flip side, getting that kind of war machine going takes a longer time. And for teams that play like that, as you said, payload is a blessing for them, right? Because when they're on defense, they only have to defend. They don't need to worry about, oh, are we going to overextend capping this? It's no, we're going to hold this point, slow the game down, you know, and focus on just this point. There's no other considerations we need to make for, like, do we want to get a forward hold off? Do we, you know, are we worrying about delaying someone? No, there's no worries about delaying. You either hold the point or you don't. It simplifies the game a lot, and I think that that's where a lot of Blinky struggles came in. So I'm hoping that in a payload map, which is a little bit more linear in that sense, they'll be able to really play more to their potential.
Yeah, I think that's a fair point, and it really does show in the way that Asheville went, right? Because it really did look like, oh boy, okay, so Fast Fourth have already ticked 2 minutes off the clock. Like, this one should basically be done. But then once Blinky grabbed the point, they would hold it for a solid minute and a half or something like that. So it kind of, I think Asheville completely shows that theory that you have might be 100% correct, just with the way that these two teams have been playing. So yeah, maybe coming into Vigil, leaning into that play style, leaning into whatever practice, whatever confidence Blinky have going into their own map pick. It looks like they might be starting out on defense for this one. I wasn't sure. Oh, and actually we're going live. Wait, no, it's 9 versus 8. So false start, or is Maury gonna join, or how's this gonna go down?
Yeah, there we go.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah, with some last minute reconnaissance, seeing well, trying to watch the beginning of that rollout.
Yeah, well, you know, maybe they got to re-exec now. I mean, there's, you know, now we've got Maury calling, like, yeah, you know, they're on Uber charge, guys. I see that they've got a scout, soldier, demo, medic, heavy. You know, you don't know what kind of info he gleaned from that.
All right, medic duck is in the box. I'm not finding too many. Heavy ducks under the platform in the back of the spawn. Where is the spy duck? Don't think it's in the resup. I don't see it in the rafters. Sniper duck is on first, outside of Blue's left spawn all the way up top. That's one spotted. I can't find the spy. So we're at 3 ducks so far.
I didn't realize there's a duck for each class on this.
Yes, and each duck has 4 separate positions.
Oh, geez. All right. Well, we are alive in this next map. It is, as we've mentioned, Blinky's map pick, and Dotwit going down early. Jay Yeezy with a pick, and Buko going down too to Ether. So this first hold, yeah, it's a quick one, and that's okay. I have seen teams really have long first holds, but it's not necessary to have a good hold on this map.
Scout duck in the tunnel on second. We're at 4.
I
haven't cast it all season. I gotta get my duck impulses out. But yeah, no, I mean, I will never judge a team's Vigil defense by their first hold. The gun gets sapped though, and they're gonna get the force out. Really good aggression there in kind of a downtime little sack wave coming out from Fast Fourth. Able to force June's Uber there with just way too much pressure coming through. People got through the main tunnel. They got the sap on the gun, and pressure got put on June. They get that Uber out, and I mean, Vigil is a point where even with full Uber ad, if you don't do enough right pushing, you will still fail the push. But Fast Fourth with that sack looks, you know, convincing signs that they know what they're doing here. So we'll have to see how they take this Uber ad. As June's already at 60%. They don't have too much time left to burn. Are they going main tunnel?
It looks like they might be. Yeah, the Uber comes out right away. Walrus's gun's gonna go down. Jay Yeezy looking for a stab, doesn't find anything.
Italians?
Not a bad.
Oh, they flanked behind them on hill. They whirlpool theory alert right now, and it looks like that's gonna potentially work out here. Now Blank getting 4 in this post fight. You know, potential scout potential on payload be damned. Going to clean up most of Blinky there. But there's been so many frags back and forth, and Godwin and Maury are still alive, that they've been able to hold this. Gonna have to see if the repush now coming in is going to be able to take it, and it looks like it will. Not enough players have spawned back up on the red team, but here comes a wave. They're all coming in. Mujet already takes out Buko, and that's going to make June start looking to play to leave. Mujet now dead, and is the miracle hold going to come through?
I don't know. This is back and forth. Blank super low, almost took him down. Blank's on 1. Oh, that's a heartbreaker if you're Blinky, just because it gives you gives you a little bit more confidence on the hold. Rebel gonna jump in and take down Mori. Come on, someone help out the demo. Reloading everything he can, but the engineer jumps in and gets it done. This is still like being held, but Blinky, it looks like they don't want to completely overcommit. They're delayed as long as they can.
That's really gonna force them to back out there. No chance if your heavy's dead, and you know I'm gonna be on that long respawn as they back out to third. But I mean, given by the fact that they got their Uber forced out so early, getting 3 minutes and second is not the best prize, but could have been. They got an extra minute out of that at least. Uber popped out here.
Yeah, and the backstab also coming in backlines for J-Eazy means that on either side, it looks like Blinky might be hurting, but a number of players on Fast Fourth do go down. The engineer Fluwaller's building up that gun again. I mean, I like the fast push from Fast Fourth. They got some space while the cart pushers were doing their thing, and now we're just going to go into a little bit of a classic push for third. The only problem is will Fluwallers feel comfortable with the gun.
They're not going to be able to hit the strafe. But Buko and Dotwit and Mori, 1, 2, 3. That is 3 dominoes falling. 2 of them going over to Mujet. Got set up on flank, no contesting, and that's going to force the back out. So very standard third push, as you said. Work your sniper flank, kill 2 of their most valuable defenders, cap the point with no problem. And they're getting aggressive into last here.
Yeah, I like this play from Fast Fourth. The fact that, you know, they're sending a couple people forward. Look, they might go down. It's scary to have your medic committed all the way, but I think Toy was playing far enough back just to see, you know, who else can grab a pick. Buko goes for the, gets the counter snipe. I want to say right now it seems firmly in Mujet's favor so far on this map, but so far everything is going Fast Fourth's favor, so maybe not too much to read into. But hopefully if Buko can get going, it might give Blinky a path to hold this last for a while.
Yeah, Mujet going for peeks through big door, gets body shot and flared instantly, almost dies as is. We've been seeing this type of forward hold come out of it, and now they have battalions on it, so Mujet peeking can't even do too much. They're going to find Ether and Poseidon, that's going to force them back a bit, losing too many numbers, and this forward hold is really solid because you can get your flank, like where Apple is playing right now, pushed up. It stops the sniper peeking in from big door, making it a lot safer than you think. They will be looking to kind of play back a little bit though. Spawn's coming back in. Uber taken through big door, should be even on both sides. Mori gets saved. That's good. You need to stay alive. Lucky. Mujet, I mean, goes down. Poseidon gets stabbed. Frag's in favor of Blinky here. Mori's death is going to be a problem with the gun going down too, but I think they can hold this.
Yeah, the gun going down is actually pretty huge. It can do so much work and annoy. Ether is all the way in the skybox. He shouldn't be able to do anything. He does go down.
Buko on a 7 so tall right now. Keep him alive. No, she was healing Apple and loses the heavy. It looks like it will be enough though. As you lose the heavy, but they were able to get enough kills with the focus on the scout there.
Yeah, and as Fluwaller's trying to build that gun back up, I mean, it can do so much work. Obviously, anybody who's played TF2, even just in a Valve server, you know a level 3 Sentry, especially Wrangled, can just be the most annoying hell in the world. So they got to make sure they have that up and keep it going for the cap. And they need to figure out what to do with Buko. He really has turned it on, I think on an 8K, 7K right now, and shows no signs of slowing down as Mujet, I think, falls off the cliff from maybe a pipe or something from Mori.
Oh.
Good crater.
Right, but yeah, the flank Uber is coming through right now. Really good preemptive rotate from Blinky. Not even letting them through this door. DT's going to try to take the remainder of it through big door, but not going to find too much. That gun not sapped. Battalion's out as well. No fear from Mujet, who is now back and peeking. But the Battalion's is going to fade pretty soon. But Mujet goes down again. Buko on the 10K. Unstoppable right there. Sack coming in from Ether. Ooh, hair shot by Voyager. This last hole is coming together, but they are down Fuzzy and Mori. Their healths are dropping low. June doing what she can. With the Heavy and the Scout are 2 of the big classes right now for the Niners, and they are both hurt. Keep an eye on both of them for defenders. Flu goes down and loses his gun too. Mujet sniped as well. They can play wide, but that gun will sting, losing it. Dotwet dropping down. Will clear enough of them. Buko gets stabbed out as Daisy finds 2, but Ether coming in. Oh! Gets the air shot onto June. Huge nukes coming in, and they will finally cap this, but it's going to be a 7-16 time, which is pretty good.
Yeah, I want to say that was it about 4 minutes through the first three, and so about a almost close to double the time just
3:51
through
through
rest.
3, I believe the time was.
Okay, so 3:51. Yeah,
Three
I
and a
mean,
half minutes on last.
you got to be happy just with the recovery there from Blinky. I mean, but now, you know, in a way, I know that a lot of people do like to start off on defense. In a way, I kind of liked starting off on offense just because it would give me just some comfort knowing, okay, this is how long I need to defend for. Now I'm curious to see with 7:16 on the clock. I don't know. I feel like it allows fast fourth to set up some have some understanding of you can kind of play to the clock and know exactly how long. Okay, you know what, we can give up first, you know, we've even got time to give up second, you know what I mean. It helps you a little bit in not overcommitting if necessary, or digging your heels in if you know you need to get some extra time. So Blinky now on offense, I think, do have a lot of their work cut out for them.
Yeah, and I like times like this because, you know, if you can't cap in 7:16, you probably aren't the better team.
That's a very good point. That's a very good point. Yeah. Well, so far, I mean, Blinky are really trying to show they are a strong team, but the better team that might be, we'd probably have to go to a map 3 for Blinky to be able to say that.
Yeah, I mean, see more often than not, it feels like any 3-map games or their teams trading on their first 2 maps, so I would say the amount of times you go to a map 3 where the 2 teams trade each other's maps outnumbers where they take their own maps, probably 2, maybe even 3 to 1.
We gotta get get Mori on that one. Let's add the statistics into the site for next season.
But I mean, this first hold is going longer than you would expect. Rebel actually rebuilding his gun more aggressive. So they're determined to milk as much time as they can out of this. Already a minute gone. Lucky's gonna go down without even getting the sap off. His gun's
Rebel
getting hurt. Rebel still healing it. What a Chad.
Yeah, keeping the rescue ranger
going. That
going.
lock and load just missed. They do finally get the gun though. But is that a battalion's coming out from Ether already? Pops it a little bit too late though as Buko gets Buko headshots Muga just in time. But they are even popping the battalions here on first. Fully committed to staying in here. They're gonna get killed with this. J-Eazy finding Dot when Poseidon picks up 2. And they cannot even walk out of their spawn right now. Fast Fourth is getting so much time off. They're about to milk 2 minutes off of this.
You know, this is great for Fast Fourth because they are forcing Blinky to use this Uber if they want to get first. I think Blinky right now, they're really hoping, like, come on guys, just can't you just back up and then we can try to use the Uber to get on second.
Picks up Buko first.
Oh, yeah.
You need sniper's so important for forcing them back here. You lose that sniper, you can just play wide.
Especially Buko really was on a tear in the end of that first round. So if he's not able to get started in this offensive half, it might be a no-go. I mean, we might see them stall out on. You'd hope they get first, but stall out early if Buko is being neutralized.
Rebel's gun has been such a trooper. It's gone down, rebuilt, still forward. Lucky's gonna get caught out by Melon there. We'll chase her off, drag her off the tunnel right there. Looks like they're finally getting the space they need, but they just milked over 2.5 minutes off of first.
Yeah, it's huge.
I'd argue, yeah, you just Uber at that point. Just force them back. They just lost so much time here, and oh, look at J-Eazy in tunnel. No way. No! Oh, gets his knife melted accidentally.
Oh, man.
Something, that was going to be tragic regardless of how it happened, but for Blinky's sake, thankfully it was for Jay.
Seen J-Eazy come up clutch with so many picks just over the weeks casting this team, and yeah, so you always got to be careful. If he finds a way to get behind, it could really be a problem. But right now, everybody on the card just pushing forward with the combo. They do lose Mori as Blink gets traded the other way, so you get the demo up, you get Dot Wet healthy, and I think you go for this push because you have to, really. I don't think you have a lot of time to wait for a pick. I think you've really got to make magic happen with this Uber.
You got 4 minutes here, and you still haven't even forced their Uber left. Like, although that 3 minutes they got out of the last hold, gone.
Yeah, absolutely. So all that good work really for really for just 1 point. But Ubers do get traded on the card. Did he really?
I think that's blocking an Uber as an Uber heavy. That's hysterical. Good for you, my man.
We gotta get an hours check for Poseidon. How long it took to get that one? Soviet block. Oh, there we go. Well, if nothing else, I mean, Poseidon can put that one in the bank. But for Blinky, unfortunately, that achievement is really working against them because Poseidon ate up the entire Uber for Blinky. They got no space. Just a solo heavy Uber, and he did so much work.
Yeah, at this point, I feel like you have to adapt if you're Blinky. You see Poseidon playing so close tunnel, and Ether isn't really playing that close to side tunnel either. You have to adapt and get some pressure through side tunnel. Punish them for having that heavy not near side, as the Ubers will trade out on hill right now. Buko and J-Eazy both going to be dead, but Poseidon should take out Dotwet in tunnel. We'll get the assassination. Lucky takes him back in turn, though. Ether now bombing in over hill, gonna find June. Card time's really good. Lucky's just gonna ride this in.
Yeah, it finally goes. I mean, a lot of picks for both teams, so Blinky just making sure they committed bodies to the cart, make sure they get it, but 2 minutes left to get third and last seems like a tall order. So for Blinky right now, you're still thinking, okay, this is possible, we gotta push, we gotta, you know, play our game. But this is definitely where you're thinking, like, what are we gonna do differently so that in the next round we come out a lot stronger. So with the minute 40, I'm just expecting a relatively long break for them to talk this one over. But I don't know, this one might be done and dusted
here. And Mujet being dead, I'd like to see them get a little bit more aggressive here. I like this aggro up on flank right here, because if you remember, Mujet on offense just took this space exactly where the red combo is standing right now and rolled them, but now you have the combo there instead. And I don't think they're ready to counter that kind of forward pressure here.
No, 100% for both medics.
Mori and Buko. Those are two big names to get off the board.
Yeah, now Voyager goes down. So even so, the Uber does get used from fast fourth, so they nothing really doing with that, and I think you're fine.
It's a little too much time. Yeah, they got enough time.
Yeah.
The Uber's gonna come up through tracks, and they likely will get this. I don't think. Although at the same time, if you're fast forward, you know you have enough time. If you just all sack in on this, yep, Melon, one huge air blast forces them all off. They are dying one after another, but with only 35 seconds left, it's time to see how fast the cart can move.
Yeah, get that ×3 going. Only Rebel and Toy Live. Blank did just spawn. Here comes the big spawn wave.
Oh, that's such a brutal peak. He knew he was walking up, jumped over his head. I think I remember Syed calling it the Apex peak. I don't know why, but I vividly remember him doing something and calling it that. But, well, I mean, they're keeping... Nah, it's too far.
Yeah. You know, another 10, 15 seconds, you maybe say it's possible. But especially, yeah, that Uber coming out. Yeah, I say, I think we buckle in for a little bit of a long pause, because I think for Blinky, there was obviously some positives there towards the end on their offense, but they got to figure out what to do with first, because right now they're about to go right back onto offense after this half splits, or after the half gets started again. And they're going to need to set a better time than just those 7 minutes. Or, yeah, sorry. They're going to need to set a better time than the pace they were at, you know, which obviously ended at the 7:16.
I'm going to disagree and say that they're fine setting a 7-minute time. They need to cap first in less than 3 minutes.
Yes. You should hope so. Oh, boy.
Oh, that was hard to watch. I mean, it's just not enough people. They just aren't walking. Like, they got kills onto Mujet. They're bleeding people to J-Eazy, decloaking in the same spot every time. And they're just they're letting Rebel's guns sit. Lucky isn't able to get in on anything. I mean, he's decloaking also, I think, in the same spot almost every time. Melon caught him out, like, in that little kind of cubby on first where the drop down is, near tunnel. Like the one that opens after second, like the defense side one. You know, where the chicken wire fences. Caught him trying to decloak there like 3 times, I want to say. Maybe I'm like imagining that, but Lucky it felt like could never get anything done. No saps coming in, no nothing. They never had anyone kind of push up flank. I mean, you can get, you can get a heavy pushing up through flank there, and it puts pressure on them from two angles, because if you're only going to push from one direction, it makes it harder to bully them out. I mean, yes, you have height advantage. Yes, you get your sniper up on the hill, and really that should be it. But it wasn't enough, so march your heavy off to the side. Have him be a distraction. Send a scout with him to bodyguard him, because you've already got the cart better up, far enough up. That was just unfortunate.
Yeah, I'm trying to look through the logs. So Buko, towards the end of that first round, right, was on an 8K, and then that first 10K. Okay, so maybe a couple of them were on the spy, just because it says in that first round he only had 8 frags. So, I mean, either way, it just goes to show he really only got a pick. Didn't get a pick until like last, basically. Maybe 1 or 2 on third, and then just kind of came alive in last. Buko definitely has shown the potential to like take over the game a little bit. And it's hard to ask a sniper to be so consistent from like the second the gates open until the cart gets capped. But it's clear that when Buko is going, this entire team is going. Can't put the entire team on his shoulders. But I don't know. Maybe he's like a diamond. Maybe the extra pressure, it's gonna make something great. So if you're Buko, you gotta try to keep that solid performance up.
On the note of that pressure, this is potentially match and season point now. Well, not season point, but elimination point for Blinky here. Should Fast Fourth win this next half, they will finish out this match 2-0. They'll move on to the grand finals to face Team Fun, and Team Blinky will be eliminated, finishing third. I mean, I think finishing third for them, they were initially going to be in advance this season, I believe. Then they moved up, and they've, I think, done much better than anyone could have reasonably expected, getting this far. But, I mean, I don't think, this team is not, ready to go yet, I don't think. Their players are playing well enough that, this isn't like a spot where they should go this quietly, I feel like.
100%.
And I'd like to see more.
Either way,
from this team and from this match.
Yeah, either way, I mean, how this shakes out, I think you bring up a really good point. Like, regardless if Fast Fourth end up closing it out, whether it be right here or we do end up going to a third map or something like that, I definitely want to see Blinky continue. They've obviously got a strong core. Like, these players know how to play, and they play well together. You don't need to blow it all up. You don't need to cut, this player, that player, whatever. I mean, it's clear that they have a chance to continue to build, continue to be like a playoff team in Invite if they keep learning and they keep playing together and practicing. It's impressive that they got the upset over Froggyland to put themselves in this situation, and how they've played so strong up to this point. You got to give a little bit more in this half, and just you win this half and you keep building like steps. You know what I mean? You take one step and then you put one foot in front of the other. You don't try to take the whole set of stairs in one jump.
Something that's not necessarily here nor there, but I do want to call it out, is the Meds had very interesting performances there. Toy did not die, which I shouldn't need to explain how impressive that is in an invite level match, where you are not dying to either the spies, nor the snipers, nor the soldiers, nor the scouts, nor the demo men, nor, the occasionally unhinged NG running at you with the glow stick. But despite that, June, who is not a, multi-season, multi-placement medic like Toy is, had 227 more heals 200 plus heals per minute. 1527 there to Toy's 1300, which is, a considerable amount. That's another, I'm looking, it looks like 3500 or so.
Yeah, it looks like about
3,000, about 3,000 more in heals, 4,000 even. Which, I mean, you add that to the damage, and it means that what had been getting out damaged by 6,000 is now only 2,000. And that kind of shows how even these teams are, but I said it on Asheville, it's coordination. That's the difference between these two teams right now, not DM like we might have initially thought, or I think a lot of kind of more, knowledgeable players would have looked at the two rosters of these two teams and said, oh, they're going to get steamrolled because, there's just so much more experience, there's so much more ability on the side of Fast Forward. That's not what it is. I mean, there are, sometimes you see, like, two teams play each other in invite playoffs, and you're like, it does not matter what timeline we're in, that was going to go one way. There are a significant number of timelines where Blinky is in the lead right now in this match, with how Fast Forward has been playing.
Definitely. Yeah, it's just hitting up a couple things here and there. And I think they do have the ability to even tighten things up here. Their defense was good, not great. Blinky's was. It was good, not great. They had a really solid last. If they could have gotten another minute or two somewhere else, either, maybe on their first and second hold, we don't know exactly how this could have shaken out, because with an extra 45 seconds on their offense, a couple of clutch picks could have brought them over to push the card in. And some of that is obviously when time is starting to come to its conclusion, all chaos breaks loose. It's why the Valve push is just a thing ingrained in our heads from all the community server upward we've played in our lives. But it just shows that you just tighten a couple things up here if you're Blinky. As the time ticks down, maybe they bring it back here.
I mean, again, what's the metaphor? The cards are in the deck. Everything's all there, right? The stars are in the sky. Blinky just needs to align them. I'm struggling here. Please help.
Well, I don't know if I can help you too much. I just hope that these... I don't know. I'm hoping that Blinky can help us a little bit. Maybe chat needs to help Blinky a little bit. I don't know how the chat feels, if they're, team Fast Fourth, if they're team Blinky, if they're just team I want my prediction to go through so I can get some channel points or something like that. But maybe what Blinky needs is some love and energy from the chat to keep this thing going. And who knows, maybe we could see map number 3. But before we get there, let's see the next one. Let's see, we got a... Oh no!
We got some... that's some BM right there. What the
L?
H? What
oh my
the
gosh!
H?
They can't be doing that. They can't just be out here doing that. That's a BM. That's BM right there.
That's messed up. Oh, I hope Blinky takes this half now. That would be so poetic. Oh, that's crazy.
Just a waste of the crit. It means there's no. I mean, are they? There are a couple sticks. Yeah, that's a fair point. I don't know. They're messing with the mental now of Blinky. They're trying to win the psychological game.
Okay, by the way, there are 4 ducks in blue spawn. May have been looking at that as the gates open and not at what was happening on flank.
You're keeping track. I appreciate that.
I've never actually seen the sniper duck that far off.
Yeah, well, Rebel did have the gun forward behind the cart rather. It looks like he pulled it out, and it's getting spammed up. But Rebel last round did a really great job of keeping this gun up and delayed so long. We'll see if he can keep it up this time and show why that first hold from Fast Forward was so strong that first time around.
Yeah, Lucky and Dotwet dead now, and I mean, really not too much doing. It's kind of the same thing again. Not a lot of adaptations, it feels like, coming out from Blinky.
Yeah, and just kind of running into a brick wall, basically. 100% still for June. I actually, and I feel bad I didn't catch this, I don't know if did they lose and have gotten it back, or they're still just trying to like dry push. I think you gotta go for it. I get it. You want to dry push, you want them to just kind of fold and walk back, but it's clear it's not working. It didn't work the first round, and the more and more you commit to the same strategy, you're just delaying, just continuing to delay the inevitable. I don't even know if June's really left.
I think it's
spawn.
been 2 minutes. Yeah. I mean, you gotta... Okay, June's leaving now. Saying, oh, it's been 2 minutes. I guess that's the time where Blinky says, oh, we need to do something. Ether's gonna get caught out. So, good jump out of Voyager there. No banner. They're gonna find Poseidon as well.
Oh, June.
Some good kills. June hit up a little bit low. Jay-Easy lurking.
It's scary. It's scary.
Oh, goes for the G-Club. June, turn around! Oh, she turns. She heard me.
Oh, God, that was scary.
All right, exhale. They get first. They don't drop their medic. But 230 again? You can't keep getting away with it.
I mean, in a way, Blinky got what they wanted, right? They didn't have to use Uber, and they got the point. But, yeah, at what cost did that happen? Cart's starting to go through the tunnel. Looks like it's going to be a push out that way. Maybe the split, although Ether doing a great job of making sure Wet can't get out on the other side of the tunnel.
Yeah, I mean, just gonna... But again, 230. Do something. Exchange somewhere. What are you waiting for? They're blowing so much time here. Vigil's second is a point that is dry pushable. The Uber here does more for defense than it does for offense.
Yeah, so...
You will not get this point if Uber has defense. You have to, at the very least, exchange. And as they do this, they keep bleeding people. Before they bled Mori, now they bleed Buko, and they're using in, and Mori is focusing the sniper on track side, and Red doesn't even have to use.
Yeah, they got nothing for that.
That is not a platinum or invite placement Uber. I'm sorry.
I'm a little lost of what they were waiting for. I mean, sometimes you can tell, like, okay, they want their scout to come in. They're waiting for heals to come up. It literally just looked like everyone was kind of sitting around and like, all right, are we going? All right, are we going for? All right, I'm walking forward. Are you what? Okay, we're not walking forward. You know what I mean? They're just like, nobody wants to be the person to make the call. And now fast forward, still sitting pretty. It's going to be funny when we look at these logs. Just no Ubers used from Toy, although she's going to have to use great bomb in from Voyager. And let's see, will Blinky be able to capitalize on that?
You want my honest answer?
Yeah, you know what? Let's hear it.
I don't think they will. I do not think that they will cap this point by the time Toy gets Uber back.
Oh,
I hope
come
I
on.
am proven wrong. I'm hoping against hope that I'm proven wrong, but they kill Jay-Easy. You kill the enemy spy when you're pushing Vigil second, immediately rotate from wherever you are, because they do not have the comms and you can try to catch someone out. Now they half move into tunnel and then say, no, we go hill again. And now they use, walking forward, Melon gets one good air blast off before leaving. Are they just going to give this? No. Rebels got the passive gun. Battalions has been popped. They cannot get sniped here. They're waiting for people to come in. Poseidon's going to buy a lot of time, forcing them back right here. And June gets sniped out by Mujin, wide peeking tracks. And guess what? Toy just got Uber, and they still have the point.
Yeah, and now it's back to square one a little bit. I mean, the gun's only a level 1, but Lucky isn't in a position to get a sap or anything like that. Looks like he's going to go find the back line and do something. But Wet alone going to try to get on the point. But yeah, he can't do it all by himself. It's just a recipe for disaster.
Apple on the Rufo today. Tried to run in, maybe get a good shot on Toy with the gun. Spooked him off. They will get the Uber out here, though. June is safely, not safely, in Jenkins right there. Will survive. Thankfully, they actually dropped Poseidon on that, so the defensive Uber came out and only ended up dropping a heavy to it. Blank, though, on a 10K on second. Again, scout potential on payload be damned. They are getting kills at the cost of their medic, maybe. But Buko's going to find Mujit. They have 4 down. Your medic be damned. It's like 20 heals per second. Just push it, please.
Oh my god, yeah, so there it finally is gonna go.
Maurice Ragdoll from that level 1. That was beautiful.
Oh, how does that happen? Well, Jay-Easy is still in a place to calm, looking for players that are gonna be
Voyager
walking
hitting
by.
the moon bomb. No, the gun! The levitate! What?
Wow.
Someone put the X-Files theme over that, I beg you.
I don't know if you got ragdolls on, but that ragdoll from Voyager was kind of great. Anyway, so the cart is moving forward, 100% for Toy. June is building with a couple players down. No demo, no heavy does make this a hard one to push because, you know, your scout and your NG can only do so much to push the cart forward if there are no players in the front lines trying to make some space. But now that everyone's back alive, as I say that, Mujet gets a good pick onto Buko.
Speaking of ragdolls, Lucky did not get the stab. Did not have an easy death.
And it's a hard
Uber's
one.
going to be popped out, though, coming out of lockers. They will get toys Uber in exchange. Rebel's gun is so forward here. I love that aggression. It will go down, though. June a little uncomfortably forward by the end of the maneuver, but will escape. Fuzzy gets stabbed out. They will find the kill onto Blank. One revenge coming in there. Only one, actually. Only one down from Blank on that 10K, I think. Yeah, still has one left. But Buko, Mori, June gets stabbed out. Group up a little bit too much on tracks. Get collapsed on that height advantage doing wonders right now. Look at Mujet. So far forward right there. Gonna be scared back by Voyager, but that man is looking to cause some damage on someone.
Yeah, and Ether just is continuing to work as well. Had a he called out just a bomb in and got a couple picks off of it too. It just seems like everyone on fast fourth now. You know what it is? It looks like Blinky have just kind of run out of energy a little bit. I think it just seems like at this point, look, the cart's moving backwards. Thank you, Buko. All right, someone touched it.
Our sniper
it's just
is,
those little
is
things.
touching the cart. He's the one, the only one who's in enough. But we'll get Mujet and Blank. Okay, check him, PC. Buko does not want to go quietly into this good night. He'll get taken out by Ether. They're likely trying to go for a God shot. It does actually end up even forcing out the Uber, so I think Buko just got two at the force.
That's beautiful. Well, Mori goes down to that gun. Just seems to be his biggest enemy right now. The Uber gets used. I don't know if they're gonna get this gun.
Oh,
I don't think
Melon missed the reflex.
Come on.
This gets gibbed by Voyager coming up from hell. They will finally get this on the back of Buko. Just
9.
saying no, I will not get third in over 10 minutes.
Oh boy. Yeah,
9 minutes, granted, but it's still in the triple digits, not yet 4.
And I don't know. They'd have to collapse ASAP, I think, in order to give themselves a chance. The gun is being built up. Rebel's gonna work to get that level 3 as soon as he can. And there's not even an ad. I'm trying to find something for Blinky. It needs to be a clutch pick. It needs to be Buko. It needs to be Lucky. Someone's got to find it. And Mujet going down, it's something, but we got to see the rest of Blinky now step up.
Yeah, I mean, realistically, I've got a feeling it's going to be Buko who will wedge open this last for them, but really, it should be someone else. Give the man's shoulders a break. Oh, they got Blank. The air dead.
And Ether, too, goes down, so both players on the flank.
Their flank is dead. We could walk forward, team. There is no one on that half of the map. Dotlet's waiting, but he's not. Okay, finally, here we go. Already waited for them to respawn. By the time they are going to use the Uber through flank right there. Drop down. Gun is sapped. Mori not even trying for it, and it gets unsapped. Mori just didn't shoot the gun.
I get that there are other players around and you want to do some damage, but yeah,
One pipe.
You got to get one, at least one on there. 2 sticky, something. You got to help out on that. Or if it's not going to be used, someone's got to be called to focus the gun. Yeah. So now they're left to build again, and it doesn't seem like Blinky are the kind of team that are going to go for the dry push. I think we're in it until another.
Buko finds Mujet again. Goes down for it, man, because he's just, you know, being the first one peeking, and oh, DT gonna get June to crater on the lower cliff. Couple of people went up there as June got popped up and did not have any options to to avoid the death there, but 2.5 minutes left. Things are looking grim.
Yeah, and either way, we're gonna be waiting another 60 seconds because, like I said, Blinky, they're not gonna go unless they have Uber. So we're gonna be chilling. Unless someone finds the clutch pick. But even so, we just saw it. They took down their flank, and they still weren't sure whether or not they wanted to push on it. They're playing very scared right now. It's Mujet, nice pick onto Buko. DT is down. I mean, that's something. Can he build off of that? I'm not sure.
You're gonna lose Fuzzy right in reverse, and June peeking that sight line unnecessarily will not get punished for it, but it's another risk. Lucky finds the stab onto Blank. Stabbing the defensive scout not that often in the currents, but Mori will go down, so now they're going to have to call a hasty retreat out of the flank area. June backing out lower cliff pretty safely, as she has, but no demo means that, you know, no Uber, which...
Yeah, as that time continues to just tick down, too. I mean, at a certain point, they might not even cap this, which really puts Fast Fourth in pole position to close it out. I mean, obviously, they've already done enough. It seems as Dotwet goes down, the Uber didn't come out in enough time to keep him up. Mori falls too, and June Ubering a spy. I mean, yeah, I think June should live, but either way, that Uber gets absolutely nothing, as time should be going down under a minute left in just a second for Blinky.
Yeah, I mean, Daisy gets his knife melted, but will keep his life. I mean, there's time for one more Uber. You do get overtime as well, right? So we could continue this a little bit longer. Should, you know, number of frags come in. Buko peeking big door. Expecting Crime's not gonna, actually no, gonna hit Melon low, but no one dead this time. Ether coming in from behind. Forget the medic. Buko is the pick there. Will get launched off the cliff by the level 3 from Kulars there, which I like that on flank. Just gives them a little bit of safety there from, you know, a soldier doing that, make sure he only gets the sniper and not your med as well. They are going to find Mujet. Mori with the lock and load from Big Door. Finding the sniper. Not how you want to be dying as sniper. I mean, still going to be dead for a while. Buko now coming back up as well, trying to get back in, going for some picks. But, oh, Flora's going to get taken out. The gun's going to go down. Ubers are in, but there's just not enough cart time. Fuzzy dead on cart. Pub push coming in right now. But Poseidon coming in from flank should wrap this up fairly quickly. 9:05 through 3. They will not take last, and Blinky season is in its darkest hour right now.
Yeah, 9:05 is the time. So with anyone not familiar, although I have to imagine most are, if Fast Fourth managed to cap third before 9 minutes, or managed to cap managed to cap third before 9 minutes 5 seconds, they win. If it takes them longer, as long as they cap last, they will win. So a couple of win conditions now for Fast Fourth, and Blinky said in their darkest hour, their backs up against the wall.
At this point, you go for a second hard hold.
Might as well. Just overcommit anywhere.
Oh no! Apple in chat, do you guys just want to cap? Oh no.
Oh, that's... The vibes are off.
Oh, that is a team that is shattered.
I think they're ready. I mean, I get it. I'm tired. I kind of want to go to bed. It's past 11. I'm an old man, over the ripe age of 30 at this point. Been playing TF2 longer than some people have been alive.
Gosh, what a terrifying thought. It was like this year was the 10-year anniversary of my first comp match.
Oh God.
And I'm like, oh.
Yeah, I don't know. Season 9 Iron UGC. That's where I don't know what year that was, but probably 2013, probably somewhere around there.
Yeah, it was Jan 2013. We started at the same time.
Oh, gosh. Oh boy.
Welcome to the club.
I mean, we should probably talk about the game, but I do want to mention that I work at a school now, and I realized that the kids are younger than Team Fortress 2, just as a concept, and it broke me a little bit.
I had like a moment when I realized that my little sister is younger than a YouTube video.
Oh God. Oh God. Well, us old folk reminiscing. I mean, speaking of being broken, Blinky right now, I mean, their entire hold is broken.
Mori is setting up an Alamo in the tunnel right now, trying to stop the car from getting capped. Not gonna, unlike the Alamo, though, he may not be remembered in his stand, as the point will be capped in short order. So, here's the fun part, right? 750 on the stopwatch, but only 640 on the in-game clock, means that you're being time efficient if you hard hold them on second here. You could end the map before the stopwatch does, if you hard hold second, but Mori's already dead.
Oh, no,
June
no,
doesn't
no,
even
no, no, no.
over.
No,
I don't think that's gonna happen. One frag back onto Ether, there's a chance.
Oh no.
All right. All right, hard hold them on third.
That was just crazy. As
Never
we're saying
surrender.
it, everyone just absolutely eats it. Oh boy. Yeah, ×3 going. Hard hold on third. Let's go. 7 minutes remaining. I think they got this. I can see it happening.
Oh, that's interesting. Is my HUD normally when you have a situation like this, right? Normally you would see the in-game clock match the stopwatch.
Yeah, I think right.
I don't.
Yeah.
But it is not doing that, which is noteworthy. Doesn't change anything. You still have to hold third for 6 minutes and 40 seconds at the least, and then either continue to hard hold third. Oh, that's why, because they didn't cap. So even if the stopwatch runs out, they will have the remainder of the in-game time to cap third.
Right, and then potentially if they, as long as they cap last, that makes sense. Ether though, and the rest of Fast Forth making sure that doesn't happen. Everyone on Blinky goes down, and this cap should be coming in momentarily. And GGs are out. A 2-0 in favor of Fast Forth. One match point taken. Map point rather. I don't know. Either way, 4-1 on our first map, Asheville, and a 2-0 in pretty dominant fashion from Fast Forth on Vigil. Makes it a 2-0 overall for the series, and on their way to the grand finals to meet Team Fun.
Yeah, and I mean, I know we kind of weren't the nicest to Blinky towards the end, but I mean, it's out of frustration because it's not like they came in and they just got, ran over. It's because we can see the mistakes and we can see that they're not out of it. This was not a hopeless match at a number of points, and then just a lot of the times the failure to execute is what's really painful to see, because a lot of the times, if you just get completely, outmatched in DM, it's kind of like not much we could have done about that, right? Yes, you can beat DM teams with good coordination type things, but sometimes the DM gap is just too large. And honestly, I was afraid that was what was going to happen. I'm very impressed by Blinky's combat ability. Voyager was getting really good picks in, especially once after the first, maybe round or two of Asheville. Lucky was finding things. Buko was popping off. June was very capable on Medic, and it's the individual pieces are there, and it's just not coming together, and that's, again, unfortunate. But on the flip side, right, going back to kind of what we said before this half, hopefully this is not a reason to implode the team or, sub everyone out. This is a team that I really think that, given a little bit more practice, a few more reps against top-tier teams. Again, keep in mind, I'm fairly certain this team was slated to play advanced this season and only got moved up because one of the invite teams died early on.
Yeah.
And I mean, yes, this was not the prettiest end, but they surpassed all expectations. They just making it into playoffs over Squirtye was a success, and then taking Froggyland out as well. They've beaten out two established invite teams that have both placed and I think been at least to grand finals before.
Yeah, it's really impressive from Blinky, and I really do hope to see how they continue on for next season, and hopefully they do. But for Fast Forth, I mean, we came into this kind of with this being the expected result. A strong team showed themselves as, just a notch below Team Fun. Anyone who watched watched the match where those two teams played to solidify that Team Fun was going to the grand finals. It's kind of almost a similar spot for Fast Forth now that they are going into the grand finals, where I see the potential for them to, take a map from Team Fun and really make the grand final a very competitive match. And I really hope that some of those, like you said, there were opportunities for Blinky to capitalize on mistakes that Fast Fourth were making, right? They're not infallible. And I think if Fast Fourth tighten up some of those mistakes they're making, maybe it means in that grand final matchup, they might kind of surprise Team Fun with how they've improved even just over the course of a couple weeks.
Yeah. I mean, it's, nothing is out of the question there. I mean, we know the players on Fast Fourth. If Mujit gets hot, DT really impressed me. I thought he was really, really solid on demo. And I can see him, standing up to anyone. Blank is, a known quantity at this point, but still a very large one. And, should the maps line up, I think Blank can have a huge impact on this as well. I mean, I know last season, I believe it was again... Were they Team Fun? Were they Fast Fourth? I don't remember exactly what the team name was, but it was a similar matchup last time, I believe, as well. And I know Fast Fourth really put a lot into it to try to get there. And, they were pretty heartbroken that, they weren't able to pull it out in grand finals last season. They fought their way back here again, and they get a second shot at the king.
Well, we'll be excited to watch that one go down. I mean, before we wrap up, we gotta of course just do one more shout out for the merch. I think we talked it up a little bit before the match started. It's nice merch. I don't know. There's not much to say. I really do enjoy the designs. I think you mentioned that this run, it's clear that there's a lane that RGL is filling. I always enjoy last run of merch. I like the frog design, the crab design.
There's a snake and a crab.
I know, right? It's just, I don't know. I really do enjoy this stuff, but it's shirts, it's hoodies. Don't forget, there's also stickers. So if you're not sure you want to commit to wearing a shirt or a hoodie for some reason, get the sticker. Decorate your laptop or something like that. Put it on the screen of your computer, and because you only need everyone's got massive screens. You can put a sticker over part of it, right? It's not that big of a deal.
It's my crosshair.
Yeah, that's exactly.
Whenever I stop being able to see the enemy player, that's when I shoot. No, I mean, and I mean, look, as much as I respect the self-confidence it would take of someone to wear a shirt with an SFM of their classes, their main class's loadout on it, right? These are subtle, they're sleek. They're things you can wear in public and be like, yeah, I'm wearing a TF2 shirt. I don't, I can attempt normalcy, which none of us are by the fact that we're all still here. But,
exactly.
You can play at it. They look good. They're things that, you would be, if I got recognized by someone wearing a TF2 shirt, I'd want it to be one of these, not because someone knows what my medic loadout looks like.
You can really meet your girlfriend's parents in these shirts.
Yes. Yes, you can wear the TF2 Biomes one, and people won't even think twice about it. It's you're masking your power level. It's if you know, you know.
Oh boy. I mean, if that doesn't make you want to buy it, I don't know what will. So make sure shop.rgl.gg, pick something up and treat yourself and do something. It supports the league, and we love that. We love the league. And
on the topic of treating yourself and the league, treat yourself by playing 4v4 pastime. Please, you will not regret it. It is a ton of fun. The cup is next weekend. Signups end on 8th, which is Tuesday. I like how is the 8th 3 days away? We're casting, that's a Tuesday, but no, it's a Saturday Night Highlander cast. But please give it a shot. Just try to get into a game, be it in, pug it with some friends, get into one of the pug servers, give it a shot. I promise you'll see things you've never seen before.
Wow. Awesome. I definitely, and if you're not interested in playing, make sure you catch the cast next week, Saturday the 12th and Sunday the 13th. So it's gonna be right here on RGLgg on the Twitch channel. So any last thoughts as we're wrapping things up, Alto? Any shout outs, anything like that?
I mean, props to Blinky, right? A lot of teams get moved up into invite from advance, and they're like, oh man, it's over for us. You know, here comes the 1-7 or the 0-7 or whatever it is. But no, Blinky, you know, dug their heels in, said, okay, we're going to take advantage of this, get better. And, I mean, I doubt many people would have told you coming into the season would have had them placing. I doubt many people would have had them making playoffs unless someone had a grudge against like Squirt or Froggyland. But them placing, definitely not. But they came in, you know, took everyone by surprise. And, I mean, they did take a round off of Fast Fourth on Asheville in a pretty solid fashion. I mean, there were openings there. They are a team that can easily compete in Invite. They beat out established teams. They put up a fight, you know, at least maybe not towards the back half, but especially in the beginning. And, you know, it's never pretty when you lose in the way that they did, but, you know, my heart goes out to them, and I hope that they stick around and come back next season and show us, you know, that they're here to stay and are willing to improve.
Yeah, no, really great words. I echo them wholeheartedly. And, you know, I always love to just shout out the teams for putting on an awesome match for us. Big shouts out and hearts in the chat for Dolphin holding things down at that camera work. It's clean, and none of this gets done with, you know, Alto and I, we just talk a lot, but the magic of the stream is 100% down to Dolphin, so big shouts out to him. But I mean, just before we close out, can we get an exact date on the grand final? Is it going to be this coming Monday? Yeah. All right. So grand final should be Monday. So it's going to be Team Fun versus Fast Fourth, a rematch of what we just saw earlier, I guess technically last week, you could say, for the grand final of season 15. I hope you're excited. Make sure you're following if you're not already following. Join the Discord if you want to be notified as well. But Monday, same time, same place, Team Fun versus Fast Fourth. Well, unless you've got anything else, Alto?
I think that's a wrap.
All right. I've been Vox Day, joined by Alto, Dolphin behind the scenes. Thank you, everyone, and have an awesome night.